today, now the 19th day of March 2025. Usa Oblande, na still the 18th. Today, President Bill get visitor. Yes. You don't know. The president of Ghana campaign incoming president na salon. The president of Ghana campaign incoming president na salon. Well, you know go say where it fly. Then they campaign am. Okay, not at the rate way in they go, but this second time, how many people they don't come? President Bill in second term. How many presidents don't come for now? Because they talk say, oh, John Mahama come, and now come inside Freetown. You also get presidential lounge. Now the airports, now they stop. Get the guard of honor. Well, go to the lounge, tete-a-tete with the president. I take them come, and I say take them come back. When you say Liberia be don't come, Ghana be don't come. Okay, we count Guinea because that's in the be the first time. Left. What is status 1-3 for no? For say Ghana then president John Dramani Mahama being come na salon and he commit for strengthening the bilateral relationship with Salon. Ghana get 85% of electricity access. We get 27. Now they go. Now the Freetown International Airport Lunge, President Mahama don't conclude a one-day official visit to him brother. I don't even know say. Okay. To him brother. Okay, Africa man, you know say na one mama born we all. Sidiko, ma say triple no forget to Senegal back be don't come. Una dey see. Good again. He come to him brother. One day visit. Now the Lunga International Airport. During the meeting, the two presidents then be share a goodwill message and then be engaged in discussion on the review of the existing bilateral relationship between the two countries them, as well as on regional and international matters of mutual interest. Hope say una way they pass with them fly news them. You know those fly news? Go ask them APC people there. And get them fly news them for say, now tell you don't can't tell and say lay hand over. Why people then still believe that thought they I don't know. But I wish I be know. The official visit of Mahama to Salon, they underscore the deep historical, political bond between the two nations. For now, know wetin dey happen in Ghana. Then the diaspora, then Steve Harvey, they all. The road na Ghana dey lead to. Who did now they talk about historical and political bond? I tell you, say they get 85% access to electricity. We get 27. It's a bond. Oh. Now who want make them party, eh? Oh, don't forget that time where they can make paste to we. Yeah, the old people and one day they like that talk. Ghana, not to we them they can quiz paste. Okay. Now, forget it. President Bio began for tell the audience say na President Mahama in first visit to Sierra Leone since he assumed office on the 7th of January 2025. We know that day. We know. Okay. By welcome address, President Bio may express in delight for we host Mahama. Because he described him say President Mahama not only a colleague but also a great friend. President Bio may also pull Komot Nado during the bilateral engagement, say then discuss a wide range of issues in the spirit of excellent fraternal relations which exist between Ghana and Salone. The both leaders then be identify opportunities we go further than development and do democratic aspiration within the context of deepening regional cooperation. Okay. President Bio on bilateral matters, the two heads of state then be discussed the need for create further cooperation to scale up the bilateral agenda. How do you think I talk so? I talk nothing. Eh? They also explore possibilities for cooperation around commonly identified priorities in the respective like waiting. Una de right so nane give example ba. Huh? The bilateral discussion covered key areas of cooperation, including trade and investment, agriculture and food security, tourism, public health, education, fisheries, defense and security, and institutional collaboration. When I asked how they do the lights, oh, okay. For achieve their objective here, they agree for revitalize the General Cooperation Agreement that was signed in 2018 between Ghana and Salone for the establishment of a permanent joint cooperation committee. I have also proposed that the inaugural meeting of the JCC, that are the Joint Cooperation Commission, be held in Ghana at a date to be agreed upon our foreign ministers. President Bill say let them make the meeting in Ghana. Why not say let them make an Salone? Okay. Speaking on regional security, President Bill be note say critical issues then such as terrorism, violent extremism, conflict in the Sahel, and drug and human trafficking were thoroughly discuss. When I talk about Omar Sharif, no, in a way say drug and everything. Let me get the ask. He will then talk about Omar Sharif. By in remarks, President Mahama be tell thank you to President Bio and in government and the people of Sierra Leone for the warm reception with the Ngam and in delegation. Now we opa who like stranger bad, who pack style for stranger them. Now read this. It been described in visit as a meaningful gesture of solidarity. Thus I add say in Benin Sierra Leone for personally express in gratitude to President Bio for graciously attending his inauguration as President of the Republic of Ghana. So you're going to tell all man take you will be in go your inauguration? Oh, okay. Oh, now we don't know you can't tell thank you. Alright. President Mahama reiterates the importance of the revitalizing the Joint Cooperation Commission. President Bio talk and President Mahama talk. Okay. And he emphasized the potential impact where it will get on the two countries them. And not to the normal, but even the sub-region. It be reaffirmed in commitment to strengthening collaboration with Sierra Leone on education, health, sub-regional issues, the reform of the United Nations Security Council, and the deepening of the bilateral ties in the interest of the people. In our talk, I go show you for light. Mame contest Tripoli. The government they tell we say na 35% access to electricity. 27%. Na so Google say. Based on World Bank reports. Yeah. Okay. Mama no come inside Freetown. Why? Now for making that meeting back President Bio they say let them do an Ghana. Why? Una like Ghana country. Why don't come at the airport? At least we get presidential lounge. Low check. The Attorney General Alpha Cisse, Esquire, and the Minister of Justice. Now, they give them documents, and they heleba documents for Omar Sharif. Yes. There's my parents say African leaders they travel business. Hey, say can't tell and take you because you're going in Nigeria. I make a ask if you're going to tell all man thank you. Omar you say no, nah, you feel you want for you feel. Let's check Omar Sharif, the latest from Alpha Cisse Esquire. Ebide AYV. AYV. So questions they may come. Heleba one day. Lord listen as they go, or they pick. Men Musa say, Ghana president no reach Twitter. No sir, he no reach na airport and they stop. They turn back. Let we listen here.
Thank you. I think a lot of very interesting questions. First, I'd like to say that I want to associate with the last comment that you read, Fabian, which was not really a question, about patriotism, about taking responsibility. I want to agree with that particular viewer's comments, and then to the very many questions. Can citizens take government to court? Yes, citizens can take government to court.
Yeah, or you fine. Let me ask this question, again.
And then to the very many questions. Can citizens take government to court? Yes, citizens can take government to court.
Hollande. Can citizens take government to court? Yes. The Attorney General say, you as ordinary salon person able sue the government. Other one test. Ordinary citizen, you want test? What you want sue them for? Light or sue EDSA? Sue KKY if na light you want sue for. Water? What did the sue say? Say na me fundamental human right and have been deprived. Test number. Man, no doubt judicial is Leone. What he say, sir?
But of course, there's legislation.
You able to sue, but
that lays out how you take government to court, right? Whilst I've been Attorney General, I've received a lot of notices wherein, you put the Attorney General on notice with a specific timeline. Say if this is not remedied within this particular period, you'll take legal actions against government.
So you can write to the Attorney General. He say no, receive some paper then. Where they say, well, if una no fix one or two things to this term, I will carry the government to go court. Okay. Loud you go.
That is available. But let me try and go through some of the other questions really quick. First question has to do, with whether the death penalty was necessary. Yes, it was necessary. It is the belief of government that the state shall not take the life of another human being. And for me, personally, as someone who has spent my entire career as a human rights advocate, even before getting into government, it's something that I advocated for publicly, that the death penalty should be abolished. And so, yes, I agree. Even though it happened before me getting into this office, I agree with government's position that it is necessary, and government does not intend to go back. That is why
they ask and say if the death penalty be necessary. He say yes. It's necessary. Yeah? He say because Nabi person himself will be the advocate for that. So the question was if the death penalty was necessary. He say yes, because in a human rights activist even before he can inside this work. So in support. There you go.
Amendment to section 16 of the Constitution. Now on chapter 2. So the thing with chapter 2 is that it is that section of the Constitution that we call the fundamental principles of state policy. And then you have all of these provisions which you can call like socio-economic rights, right? And then there's always been this debate as to whether they put legal obligation on government, considering that they are driven basically by, most times they are driven by the availability of resources, right? Providing education, health, etc., etc. And then when you come to the end of that provision, it says that the rights listed here, will not be justiciable, and all of that. So it's something that has been debated extensively within government. More so, noting that for the president, he has seen some of these provisions in Chapter 2 as fundamental human rights which government owes the people, and that is why. The president was very clear since he came to power in 2018. He's made significant investment in education. Instant, you make public education free because it's a right, and government went ahead and reflected same obligation in legislation. So for the president, he's very keen on this. How do we make sure that this right is made sacrosanct in the Constitution, or the investment that we make in health? So yes, there are provisions within Chapter 2 which will put legal obligation on government, as part of this review process. Of course, Chapter 3 already put legal obligations. Chapter 2, of course, is also legal obligation, but it just says it's not justiciable, so you cannot take government to court.
You say waiting, and that part say why. Now it's how we just so we able to take government to court. They say Chapter 2 in say waiting.
It's not justiciable, so you cannot take government to court.
Now the same constitution. Now you say you able to take government to court. Now you say, oh, you cannot take government to court. You say Chapter 2 say
put legal obligations. Chapter 2, of course, is also legal obligation, but it just says it's not justiciable, so you cannot take government to court. For Chapter 3, you can take government to court.
Salon Constitution. Chapter 2 say you cannot take government to court. Chapter 3 say you can take government to court. Hey. Tell me back.
As part of this review process. Of course, Chapter 3 already put legal obligations. Chapter 2, of course, is also legal obligation, but it just says it's not justiciable, so you cannot take government to court. For Chapter 3, you can take government to court.
Okay. Umar, no you. Because you did be in this constitution. No you.
Right? For these. So yes, these technical discussions that are taking place right now will really look at, whether you make the entire Chapter 2 justiciable, or you take aspects of it, including the investment that government is making into education, into health, and make them justiciable. Citizens taking government to court, I think, are responding to that. How long this review process will last, because it's taking too long, I agree. I'm the first to acknowledge that this is a process that has gone on for more than 20 years. Similar, I think the last time I was here, we spoke about the Criminal Procedure Act, a review process that lasted for more than 20 years, but then, there was a commitment to take it to completion, which we have done. And so it's the same commitment that we're taking to the conclusion of the constitutional review process. So if you ask me how long this will last, I'll tell you with certainty that this will happen during the second term of President Bio's presidency.
But how long it go last? You say, now you ask the question, no. You say waiting?
Last, I'll tell you with...
No, wait. You say if person ask you...
Same commitment that we're taking to the conclusion of the constitutional review process. So if you ask me how long this will last, I'll tell you with certainty that this will happen during the second term of President Bio's presidency.
So how long this constitutional review process go last? You say, well, no worry. It go happen inside President Bio in second term. So from now to 2029, Triple I say 2030. See they don't push the census to 1 year. Oh, okay. They play.
Many cases in court. I agree. I acknowledge that, as a shortcoming in our system. And these are the issues that we're trying to address. I mentioned the justice sector reform strategy. It really includes, one, how we clear the backlog of cases that we have in court. But when we clear that backlog, how we ensure that we don't have additional delays, a situation in which we'll have more backlogs going into the future. And that is why now we are enacting legislations which we will use to hold ourselves accountable. For example, the Criminal Procedure Act will now put timelines, on the conduct of the courts, or our own conduct within the Attorney General's office. So now, of course, when a matter comes before a magistrate, moving from the preliminary investigation system to committal proceedings, the magistrate will have 28 days to commit the matter to court. The AG's office will have 60 days to prepare all indictments, and also provide.
You dey listen? You hear one day? Talk that party back, huh?
To commit the matter to court.
Oh, wait. Before they commit the matter to court.
When a matter comes before a magistrate, moving from the preliminary investigation system to committal proceedings, the
we can to magistrate the case.
Magistrate will have 28 days to commit the matter to court.
He gets 28 days for make the matter sit on a court.
The AG's office will have 60 days to prepare all indictments, and also provide, make disclosures to the other parties.
So the AG office in get 2 months. Okay.
So the evidence that you're going to rely on. All of this should happen so you don't have trial by ambush. And then, of course, the matter goes before the court. From the moment the person is arraigned before a high court judge to the time that the matter ends, depending on the gravity of the offenses, everything should be completed, maximum within 90 days or 180 days. Failure to do that, you either discharge the person or you grant them bail, depending on, the gravity of the offense. These are going to eliminate delays. We are also
either 3 months or 6 months. You either throw the case or you give the person bail. Okay.
Putting in place a lot of reform initiatives. For example, we want to digitize the justice delivery process. We really believe that when we digitize the justice delivery process, we have an e-justice system, which is part of our reform agenda. That's going to make things move really fast, So, because it helps us get rid of paper filing. It helps, various people participate in the justice process remotely. So these are
various people. That are the various people. We'll continue.
All reform initiatives that are going to help. Right now, I've been in discussions with the Chief Justice. We are looking at how we clear the backlog. We need to increase the number of judges in this country. We need to increase the number of magistrates in this country. And then, of course, we need to provide them the tools. We need to also decongest the court system. The point is that we have way too many cases coming to court. And that is why when we bring in the mediation law,
way too many cases coming to court. Way too many cases coming to court. Now, could they come with mediation law? Well, it look like say now this someone who get for can get work for mediates. That's a denke say AAA. Me na team YouTube. Okay, welcome from YouTube. Welcome to Facebook. Mediation law. Yeah, tell me about.
Which we are currently doing consultations on. It will really ensure that not every case comes before a magistrate or a judge. For some, you'll have these, handled by trained and certified mediators. You can handle this within a day.
So the mediator, them back then, they train them, they certify them. Then community, then they not get chief, they not get aid man. No, they pass the chief and aid man. Now I'm a mediator there. Okay.
It's cheaper, it's less acrimonious, it's faster, and then of course it frees the pressure that we have on the court system. So those are all reform initiatives that are in place. Yes, there's been this question of, the right to demonstrate.
Okay. Now the Attorney General in the talk so. Right to demonstrate. Waiting in say.
The right to demonstrate is a right that citizens have.
Now, right where you get. What do me talk about? Yeah, talking back here.
That are in place. Yes, there's been this question of the right to demonstrate. Yes, the right to demonstrate is a right that citizens have. We just have safeguard measures where you ought to obtain a permit from the police.
You see, you talk and fine, eh? You talk an easy one, so you just get to obtain permit from the police. Go to Salon Police. Ask Babadi. Imadi what happened with them.
The trial of a president, and the Constitution makes very clear, while someone holds the office of president, civil or criminal proceedings cannot be instituted against them. And
yes, civil or criminal business, they put up on president. What is he done at that chair? There.
It's a universal system. It's a universal approach.
Yes, universal system, universal approach. But why push and further say if then thing and they can happen so Parliament able to do impeachment? Yeah, we're not able, the court's not able, but Parliament able to do impeachment. Uno get her? Okay.
And of course, the person leaves office, as we have seen with former President Nkrumah. Yes, charges can be brought before them. A single
Okay, where the person left office. Hi. Okay.
Document and not piecemeal goes back to the question that Fabian asked earlier, about how strategic we plan to be about this. These are all issues that we're discussing. Whether we now, just present this as a single document, acknowledging that the nature and character of the 1991 Constitution has changed so much that we'll have to call it a new Constitution. Yes, there's a question about the request from the Dutch government.
Hollande. You don't calm down? You the least, you don't calm down? Alright. Attorney General, sir. Continue.
For the extradition of someone believed to be in Sierra Leone, and as you have heard, the Dutch government will say.
Tell me back, what? Okay, you're a lawyer, so you understand. You say anything of someone believed to be in Sierra Leone. That's someone they not get name. Okay, you not go call the name. We just say of someone. Now of somebody where they believe say they salon. Okay.
And as you have heard, the Dutch government will say has said that the person has already been convicted or is been investigated for the commission of certain crimes.
Or it's been investigated? No. What's your Uncle Attorney General is say? Talk that side back one.
Leone, and as you have heard, the Dutch government will say.
The Dutch government will say. Okay. What thing they will say?
Has said that.
Oh no, not to would say again. Now has said. Okay.
Person has already been convicted.
The person has already been convicted. Yes.
Or is been investigated for the commission of certain crimes.
Or it's been investigated. But then we don't close that case to in absentia. It not be this safe, but then still leak 24-year para. Okay.
One thing first, I'd like to lay on the table is
put on a table. What you want put on a table, sir?
That the Minister of Information and Civic Education has done a brilliant job. I'm explaining this to members of the public and been really very transparent, about how government is handling this.
Transparent? If you say the minister only lie, don't do your work for explain, okay. You they say transparent in how na the handler. Where the man first? Where that man where them be seen at that church? Where? Okay. No, now we see transparent. I will take to use the word.
Inspector General of Police has also made very clear that this is subject of ongoing investigation, and that they have tied a name to a face. Now, where I come in, yes, I'll acknowledge that the Dutch government, as required by law.
Listen, no, they don't tie name to face than Omar Sharif. Who saying kind say waiting required by law as the Dutch government don't send people into Ram.
Has served extradition documents on the Attorney General and
yes, you don't serve the people them.
Minister of Justice. So yes, I acknowledge that I am in receipt of those documents.
You don't answer say in get the documents them where the Netherlands sent to Ram
from the Dutch government, and then what that means.
What did that mean?
When the Attorney General receives those documents, you study them.
Okay, they study. Wow. But then say the team big go. Okay, they study and still. Okay.
The way extradition works is that one, the crime for which the person has been convicted or is being investigated in that other country must be a crime in the country in which the request has been made.
So the crime name, we don't do this now. But until now, from the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, now instead the talker, so it's fine. If a big crime na Salon and if a big crime na Netherlands, and they say contract killing, drugs. And if you say then thing and they all na Salon near back na problem. A crime. Okay.
So that will mean crime committed, in the Netherlands. If those crimes were committed, or if those actions were to take place in Sierra Leone, they will also amount to criminal conduct. And then the Attorney General will examine all of it. If the Attorney General...
now, if they talk away, they say the Attorney General, the Attorney General. Yeah, continue.
Makes a determination that there's a basis to proceed with extradition, then an application will be made to the court. So yes, there'll be a legal and political...
When did you receive the letter from...
Now, ask and say, okay, well, who say you received this letter? Yeah?
The Dutch government.
I received more than a letter. It's a bundle of documents.
Aha. When Fibian say, who say you received the letter? And I say, now bundle. No can say letter just down there. I can't be ask me how long I get for take. Now bundle of documents. Now the past study.
Did you receive it?
I received the documents in February. In February, and that's over 2 weeks ago.
In February, you not get it. You don't know when you be receive, huh? Oh, okay. Okay.
That I received the document, and once I received the document, the Minister of Information and Civic Education made a public announcement that the documents had been served on my office.
So you've explained, the procedure in looking into the documents. That's the theory. The practical aspect is we know that even in Sierra Leone, drugs were not drug-friendly in Sierra Leone.
Yes.
So clearly, those crimes, because the information is online from the news, those crimes in Sierra Leone committed would still constitute total crime. So what's next?
So now if you be tell and say, that crime would then put per demand, just like I tell you so, if na drugs now, the contract kill you, all the thing they then put per. If na saloon safe person do na crime na. So that one they don't know, waiting at the next thing.
So, like, I agree with you, and Sierra Leone has made significant progress when it comes to fighting transnational crimes. You will see that.
He say, I want to agree with you because Salon Baku self, they go before all the feds then kind of a crime where they pass. Now other country buy kind of country come on country go band up and drugs business. You know, say Almami Bangura. You know, call Almami Bangura, but you know, say Almami Bangura for more than say you don't care. You don't know, say. Then say no care it. The minister on the lie, then say he lied that side. Say Almami Bangura no care it. Still le Guinea. I ask him fumble. In Fabo say no kite, in all this saloon. Okay.
In addition to the accountability regime, persons who have been prosecuted, there's also been an institutional response. I think you must have seen in the news that we have been able to intercept like entry and exit. You understand, for drug with both at the airport and at the seaport.
What did they try for talk? Eh? I don't understand. What did they try for talk?
The regime, persons who have been prosecuted, there's also been an institutional response. I think you must have seen in the news that we have been able to intercept like entry and exit, you understand, for drug with both at the airport and at the seaport,
okay, they don't catch drugs. Okay, where the kinds of where they come on and do. Now airport to now what a kill. Okay.
Within the road exits, you understand?
Alpha. But continue.
The borders of this.
Attorney General. You see waiting?
With both at the airport and at the seaport, even within the road. In the road.
It is stomach.
At the seaport, even within the road exits.
Okay, I think it is stomach. I think
at the seaport, even within the road exits.
Okay.
And the border.
Yeah, back.
The road exits. You understand? The border. The borders.
The border.
The road exits. You understand? The border. The borders.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Calm down. Just calm down. Relax. Now, this is not transparent business. Just relax. There we go.
Of this country. Just yesterday, there's news about a vehicle having been intercepted by our police, escaped, and then, by the time it got to McKinney, it was intercepted. So those responses are out there for all to see, transnational crimes, same in the context of human trafficking.
Yeah, so what does the government intend to do with the request from the Dutch government, the extradition request?
So that is where
I see. Are we intending to comply?
So Fabian asking all this that not to you. What thing government they do with that request? Una they agree? Una they comply? Una they agree for send and go back?
We are examining the documents. So
now the answer so and they examine the documents and they study.
The point is that these are legal papers, right?
Tell him, I don't know.
Right.
Why do you examine as a government? What's the status of Jos Leijdekkers, aka Umaru Sharif, aka Boliyos, this same individual? What's his current status in country?
No, that is for the police to handle.
Bam. Waiting in status if na Umache, if na Jos na if na bolo, if na bele, if na ligi, if na laga, waiting I say, Fibian, Masandi, Andy, na Fadama get red line. The IG, he get red line, no, then he play if na lie. Ask Thomas Dixon. Okay.
My job is to examine the legal papers.
Me own work na for examine the legal paper. Na me work. You want ask about waiting? Ask the IG.
When it comes to
I ask because what if peradventure while you're handling this and we pull some tricks, next thing you know he's out of the country.
He say, well, why you dey handle this? Then something happen. Then say the man not inside the country again.
It still puts all this extradition requests to null and void, to say. So the suspicion is, are we buying time to let him go?
So the point is that I think we're making conclusions.
So if you bend the accelerate, would the guy go foot so that he go run away? Now he say, it's like a conclusion who they make.
All right?
No, I'm just asking questions.
Yes.
Now if you say no, I don't make conclusion on a question I ask.
No. So here's the thing.
Where is the thing?
I think going by the last update provided by the Inspector General of Police, he made clear that yes, they had made a connection between someone seen in a video and a person carrying the name Omar Sharif. But then they didn't have this person in custody. That is for the police to handle. I think when it comes to whether the person has been located, whether it is in custody, I think, let's get those updates from the Inspector General of Police, and I don't think he has provided any update beyond what he provided.
So the Inspector General of Police will be promised, we say, every Tuesday, even the Tuesday, this recent one yesterday or today on any area and color, in go give updates. Okay.
Now, when it comes to my job,
are we intentionally, as a nation, retaliating for the request that Sierra Leone had made to their government for Adebayo?
No, we are not retaliating.
He says so. Una tonangi wandu because the government may don't ask for Adebayo to Netherlands and not give it. So now the same two self wandu. I say no. Because the two
issues are not related at all.
They say the two issues then not to fumble them.
But similar.
No.
You have one person who this country considers that has committed some crimes that needs to come and face justice in your country, but is living in that country. It's a very similar situation.
No. So one thing that is very clear is that we will not make this issue a quid pro quo discussion.
Donald Trump like he do quid pro quo. Donald Trump. Oh, no mix.
I think government's position on the conduct of this person called Adebayo is very clear. That is a separate matter that is being handled with the Dutch authorities. And then, of course, the request made by the Dutch authorities in the context of this person that's the subject of our discussion is completely separate. Now, of course, mutual legal assistance, is corresponding obligation that states engage in. We will handle this discussion separately, but I'll tell you,
Tell we. Wait till go tell we. Then they handle the discussion separately. Salon government go talk here for Adebayo, the one, and they say they talk here for us.
Fact that there is no time wasting on this. There are no tricks being played on this.
They say not to dragging photo by this thing way Netherlands ask for.
I take my job seriously.
He say they play with teamwork.
And I will not be taking decisions just based on what's in the media.
He say he no go take decision based on wetin una dey talk. Not to so in the taking decision. No.
I will take decisions based on the evidence that has been presented by the Dutch authorities. My team and I will do a line-by-line reading.
I will land a day first. If you not get for do line by line, and they don't tell us a humongous document, and you not want do line by line reading, a day first.
Of those documents that have been submitted by the Dutch authorities, and then after reading all of these, examining all of these documents, if it warrants an action from our end, we will take that necessary action. Now, what that action will be, I cannot sit here and say.
We go take action, but the action we go take, I'm not going to tell you whose action. But action will be taken.
Because we are examining the document. When it comes to criminal conduct, that is why, in fact, I made reference to the Criminal Procedure Act. You know, even when a matter will be committed from the magistrate court, the AG's office will still need about 60 days to examine everything, to prepare an indictment, you know, because doing reviews of these documents and taking decisions on what needs to be done, these require efforts, require sound reasoning, and that is how we will really approach this particular task.
Finally, as we round off and let you go, we saw on the first day of the holy month of Ramadan.
Okay, no left now, Andy. And they don't pass. You there? Alpha, the study, the document. It's a in team that they read a line by line. When I do all that too. So now IG we dey wait for. IG need for can give you updates. Of course, the MBT we say Ingo they give regular updates as the investigation they go. When we go one time, I not go again. Nayana Salon. Publicly, na in the IG been tell we. Well, look like say something, they not see Omar Sharif again. Or something the next week can other name go can give you. But come on, they say, but forget this case, he don't die. Okay. Now na talker. Now the Attorney General say, you know they take in work play. Saying they work a better one. They take in work play. Okay. You they ask for updates. Now they want that. Yeah? Abaka, she say, na lawyer they talk so. Yeah, na lawyer. Mama Conte say after the Attorney General in office go don't finish for review the document, by the time we it done for review, well, that person they not go say again, no side. Now I make Fabian ask him say, if in a game, then they play. Or if in a drag, it drag in foot. He say no. Not to drag it, drag foot. Not to game in the play. In fact, in take in work seriously. We have to look for the one that will not take their work seriously. We have to look for them. The one that will not take their work seriously. But I'll tell God thank you. We your Minister of Justice is taking work seriously. Alpha, welcome on board. What you get for we, sir?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Please, sir. Do I sound audibly, sir?
Yes, sir. Continue.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. I think for me, I will just take up on Musa the end and so the Minister of Justice, they say they take it work seriously. I've been looking at the entire scenario, the situation that is going on. First of all, with this Dutch the matter, I feel say we don't lag too much as a nation. You see, we don't say this and we keep the same here. Those government officials were involved in the matter for handling this issue, directly they are not affected compared to people where they travel, people they outside the country right now. So the more they delay, they drag this case, they make slow or whatever on this matter, the more effect it gets on people out there. The more it gets effect on people where they intend for travel. The whole thing, we don't say this thing and we don't, I don't know. Sometimes people get old and they look at things, but the fact remains, if this government no say this man, now wrong allegation they make, not to him that this video, not to him that this, I don't feel so for to go through all these things. Fabian don't ask most of the critical questions that we self may get in mind. The delay and to say means at which the one for make this man just take 10 minutes out of this country or not. You know, so many questions in the way asks this me namesake because it's a name alpha skillfully, you know, the answer with the technicality. But the fact remains, you were the read and you were able for and dissect what they say. There are a lot of questions when I dodge, you know, on top of the answer. You saw they ask him about the man. He said, you say, not to gets right to answer that question. Now the IG. But now look at the relationship with you and the IG. Now look at the role and the responsibility of the IG. The fact remains the IG self can read a report. If you want to know the current status or location of that man, if he didn't at the country or not, he has all the power it takes to ensure say he asks the IG within at the latest update. So for me, I think say we still a call on the government, not for them, not for today, and not even for them now what they talk. Now for the future, now for people who want to travel. There are people who want to go study in Australia. There are people who want to Sierra Leoneans the picture what they paint right now, it's as if we aid and abet what this man will do. If not to the man owner give we statements clearly say, Dutch government we saw you, this person not to even see, not to him. It's totally different or whatever. It's simple. Owner make a statement, a press release. If now back, they don't give you a document. How long did it take for study this document? Even if you need support or people to come help you go through the document, I feel say, now that's not make them put you as a Minister of Justice. But delaying, we get started 90 days, we get this, we get that. For me, I think say the need for do the needful. Not for today, not for tomorrow, not for right now, not for the people where they travel. We don't see what America don't do to it at the moment, where we talk so right now. Is it a good news for Sierra Leoneans then? It's not a good news. Is it a good news for young potential students that want to study in America? No, it's not a good news. All once I begin, now one small corner, somebody negative or selfish ambition for cover one or two things. Now the effect will get so. I've said this here the time when this election business starts. I say even the ECS said it has become a secret society. People were like, why they describe them so? Who's how we they like it today? Now the results will see so. There are times when people they do things, they don't look at the long-term effects when they get on us as a nation. And now they see like this so. Yes, it's one man. What we can put nothing, the man we can keep. It's easy for conclude on this way, but at the long term effect, we don't see what Russia, Dutch don't do. They don't help, but we get they help me. We get Sierra Leone as the way they go start the way they did. Yes, we get the way they benefits now the country dey. But what will they do as a nation for now ensure say we able for keep that connection there, that relationship there. What will go benefit you for protect this one person and damage the image of the country or the relationship with in the Netherlands? What is the benefit you? So I think say for me, I still they call on the government. I still they call on even this say Alpha say, please, we do the needful for save the image of Salon. We don't see say we don't talk, we don't hear the president, we don't talk, and times without number say if they go out there for clean image of the country. This now one thing I keep they say, just this one incident, it gets the potential for them the image more than all the travel president build on. And this same one, if we can stand out clean, it gets the potential for able for open and clean with the more. So we should not take this thing for granted. We should not take this thing lightly because it has an effect on a nation that is coming up from, in fact, from an underdeveloped state. We'll not even go middle in terms of development. We'll never reach that level. We're still underdeveloped nation. And yet still with the drag power, will they make chess with a developed nation, wherein we need help from them, we need support from them. So I feel say for me, like I say, we still expect the best in the interest of the nation, not only in the best in the interest of individual or family, because that's the sad mistake. That's the where we miss out. We cannot take the interest of just handful of people above the state, above the whole nation. It's not happening in this part of the world. No matter who the hell you be, if you have issue, not empathy, you know what? Then they treat you as an individual, not as a state. And that's what they should do in Sierra Leone right now. This entire matter, they should treat it as an entity. Oh, again linked to the president. No, una pull all them connections, then una pull all them links, then una treat the person as an individual. That will help to protect the image and the good things of the president. Other than that, nothing will happen. All right, people, this is what I have for today. Thank you very seriously, sir.
Thank you very much, Alpha.
You always welcome.
We want to say thanks to Alpha for Ian contribution today. The Minister of Justice, the Attorney General, don't talk. Yusuf don't hear wetin he say, he dey study the document line by line in team. Line by line. So that I no go mistake. Omar, welcome, sir. What you get for me?
Oh my God. Thank you very much, my brother. Who said and go police mumu? I go Pelele. I'll take a page from you, my brother. I dey tell people them, but education. Now only African and the VC education that make all be all. My lawyer na in the talk so. In fact, person like this, you put her in front of any serious judge with any serious case you hire and they lost the case. Because the guy not able to make himself clear. If you dey stomach, let the court know. But it need a stomach. Because when in one for talk things and where they make sense, it talk clear. Then when they ask them questions them, where you supposed to answer, but you no go answer because you go there out of a job. Now Why, they come in. How you pretend for being something where you not be? What about if God make you, if he said the people out the stomach, they're happy for being that way, they? Because you're not a stomach, Mr. Attorney General. You're not a stomach. So let's get that out of the day, out of the window. You're not a stomach guy. So next time, not behave that kind of way. To me, now you make a mockery of the people who would go through that problems and they're not happy. Come on. How don't they tell people about we constitution? Why they bring the constitution? Not to the constitution. Now the person who say one number tell you say A, the other number tell you say B, and you forget say we all are mortal man then. We dey eat salt and pepper for crying out loud. And constitution poorly written like this. Not to babu them, even if the lion they say maybe the lions them better, then go look at different way. But black man, we black people, we race. You see what we get now, we have? But yet people are still tell you not to the constitution, that the individual. Una stop. Una stop with this nonsense. How you go get constitution? One great thing, it tell you two different interpretation. You get a nation where get two party them, where so crazy about them party instead of do the right thing and put the nation before, where down the whole yonder, down the whole yonder. If any argument, people are waiting up in the tea where the man talk say, I forget. Waiting up in the top, waiting up in the crime or the issue. There we go. There we go. There we go. So you want to talk say not to the government, not to the constitution, not the individual. Okay. What about tomorrow, you bring business na Sierra Leone. Now in this government will up you or the previous government, anyone, wherever the time. Now you go look at that constitution there. The constitution tell you say you get right for take the government to court or the president to court. Then you go to court. Then the government lawyers them tell you say, wow, would Section 3 say you not get right. Then your lawyer they say, no, Section 2 say I get right. So that the individual will now will continue for say not to the constitution at the individual. You now, they don't hold up you, but you want carry and go to court. In part of that constitution, they say you get right. And then the government, your lawyers, they say, no, you're not from better now. So all this that the individual. So then why you they take lawyer? If not the individual. So una left. Who not stupid. They're not born we yesterday. We know what they talk about. This constitution not get nothing for do with individual. This constitution a piece of crap. This constitution a toilet tissue. Okay? Toilet tissue is a better pass this constitution. Black until who signed it until then a fire get for the drop on a small like candle until the day of judgment. Now then put this crap together. So when another tell we what we know. When I continue for the good tell that to other people. And then put this crap together. Then we know exactly what in them they do. This is not a well-calculated plan by Ablai Conte and Joseph Saidu Momo, where they write this constitution, then we know exactly what they do. Then we get plan. Then we visit Momo Gudina power for the next 300 years. And the right time, to me, I've said the right time for a one-party state dispensation. Now we can't wait. Democratic dispensation. Why Pakaba, after the Lome Convention, after everything, why it not be just scrap the entire thing, let them write a new one? Because now, when they come into multi-party, they tell them write this thing up for the one-party state. If Pakaba itself not be sober person, then we just cancel everything. Now they come into multi-party state, rewrite new one. But they not do them. Now that same thing they not indicate we go so. We don't see them. And we don't see this argument multiple times. Be the watch. I don't know say that guy did now. Eval. From where that last case Mr. Nine disappear. He lost like son lost na plazas. I don't know say that guy they literally they don't care in city go all the way by the toilet. I don't know if they don't fix and come back this side. Then they watch that guy and wait then they argue. One they hold one side, the other one hold one side. How not the individual? Where the same thing one they argue with. The paper wait for tell the nation whether right or wrong. Tell this man say you right. Tell this other man say you say right. So in right, you right. Because one part of the constitution say you pursue president. The other side say you not pursue president. So you right. Because all two they say the constitution. So how not the individual? How not to? Now this particular una can explain give me. How not to the constitution? Now individual. How? Because it not happen to it. They not hold up it. Then you want to sue the government, you go look the constitution, you lawyer, they say, we can sue the president, or we can do this. Then you take your case, you can't go to court after you don't give the lawyer boku money. We don't can tell you that one word because it's here in the constitution. They won't reach now, then the government, your lawyer, they say, well, we not can waste your time, we'll get something for do. Right now, we want to go na which one of that restaurants they have, would they buy law, we want to go eat, why want they bring with kaya? Then you will not hold on your own section 2, then say hold on your own section 3. So when I tell me about how that na the individual, not to the constitution. Because you never go tell the government say something. No. Then some they tell say, we get paper now, we say no, you know for kaya. Then you self get you lawyer the talk say, no, the constitution, this part of the constitution say we for kaya. So here we are. So now left the law can out to the Chief Justice Omar Sherry. See, them people here, them feel say we don't understand. Then they no more understand that then go book, now then land book. So they can just tell we anything, anyhow. Then we just go along with it. First of all, any case to this magnitude, the Attorney General, now in the day on top, now in the day first front, now in the face. Because anything where the police then they do them with the Attorney General in full awareness and in consent. Because at the end of the day, now the Attorney General, now in the care case go to court, not to the police, not to police. Now Attorney General, now in the care case go to court. So when I can bring case country, I look, I say we not get enough evidence. Because the maker for go argue this case. What about if this person himself get very good lawyer? So when I bring more, if not to that, this case, and not reach that part date for care go. So in handed it. But when down they can't tell me say, when I go ask the police. Then people here, they know what thing they do, they know what thing they talk, and we're not stupid. It's okay. It's okay if they want to do tit for tat. Okay, if the one do and say, "Una give it and they who self the give una this," but una don't hold this paper. Whose kind education will you get? Where you go hold paper for read for almost now from September. It was in February, then they don't give this paper. And not till late February. Oh. By March, then they can do so. Today the 18th. 10 I they read and line by line. No, sir. You know they read and line by line. You know they read and line by line. You just they play delay tactics. Now the delay tactics will be play. Now delay tactics will be play. Will not tell we what thing they go on. So we can move on with we life. When I know side the guy did, when I tell we. If we not know no side it, when I tell we. But we don't get a foreign journalist, we get information about who side this guy did, a go there for go see. We are watching the detail. When I holla panam, when I tell and say we don't catch you, we be done they watch you, what you they can do now. How you don't go secure area where you don't know what is the subject? Where did it? But you secure and so much that you get army man them and policeman and waiting happening. And people them they tell me say that lady they not supposed to but whenever they say that man they walk out, gone. So now we not say the guy did it. Why for dinner of the country? What you can do now? Sierra Leone is safe haven. Why for Dede? If you been Dede, why for Dede? Why for Dede? So now we believe the people and we tell we say, this man been in a Sierra Leone, na so place. May not get any proof, but the one that we see and it, they don't tell me. But we continue for play around. You know, the Attorney General talk say, oh, people don't get right for protest. They turn around and say, oh, that's up to the police. Because you know what? 1964 Public Order Act, still there on. It's still there on big time. Where the Constitution for so pass and keep the Public Order Act. But in they work. Because we get them two people, yeah. Not call it APC again. APC they na power. Then they na power. Okay? Under Shaka Stephen. The last time I heard my brother Alpha say na SLPP, na they been come with that act today. Well, APC been in power for 28 years, Shaka Stephen. You not touch her. In fact, what you do? In bringing thugs them, in create thugs the way they call ISU for beef up that 1964 Public Order Act. Shaka Stephen create thugs the way they call ISU back then for beef up that 1964 Public Order Act. 20-something years, you not touch her. Pakabaka may not touch her. Momoka may not touch her. And Escam, 11 and a half to 12 years, you not touch her. So we're not done with games. Okay? So now it's not surprising for Lord to see who side this nation did today. Okay, the nation they sink, but you know for talk that. We don't dip and blame game. Why they call them why are the name? Why they call this name? Why they call we day? We know the day again. Not then day. Yes, not then day. Not then day. You're absolutely right. You know the day again. But a chunk of the mess where they go on today, a mess where you create. I know you know the day again. Then we have to clean them up, but they never do them. Why they for do them? Ask them why I have to do anything where you left. Now, like you, they ask them for commit suicide because the thing fit them. It's good for them. They're not going to touch that constitution. So everything bad. We see how parliament they behave. They want to do something. We see what's in the chief, the speaker. They tell we. The speaker sit down, they read all kind of thing, everything they said in the constitution. Even this PR system, not two of them if don't wipe off. Enough people even then at the books. Because we they just say, okay, you know what? We're not gonna go through waiting happen 11-year war. We need a wish for that to happen again. We're not gonna go through that again. Pakaba people don't kick that thing they out. Or and it's by Chroma before don't kick them out. Because the reason is you don't know who that guy for come after you. Not to for say because you know use them. The one way they come after you no go tempt for use them. Now that's not the reason. If you care about your people and you want to protect them, the idea say, it been there because we know feel say it necessary. No, not all about you. You know that they come after you, you not touch them. So the one way come after you, in thought and feet say, something they will be want to do, then people here they block me. Because we see the argument. The man when the speaker right now, we see how them want bulldoze that PR system day, na parliament, where they may get an all night argument. After we APC standing ground, waiting Singapore Thomas. Say, I don't even know why would they waste with time now. The thing that the constitution said the president can enact them at any time. What to say be? Say be, because that's so they do. The president just boom. It is what it is. So when I left for the tell we will not say we'll not do it again. We'll not say they're not do it again. But when you do something, why will you do what you do? You do it for cover you. And then when I said now that, then go for do. Then go let me like you. You know from which time we might be tell we say, then they review this constitution. Any attorney general will get when then put mic in front of them. Some go tell you say we don't already done. We'll be get Mohamed Rahman Suare, anytime we they tell them, we they ask them about that constitution, they say, well, we don't do now. Now, for these dates are no more now, now lie in they're not even touch them. Why? You feel say then guy want commit more suicide. That thing they been pamparam 1991 for them. It suits them. You they see how what the president they operates. Everything with the blessing of the president, with the good heart of the president, they do this. The constitution then writes on so much, so bad that the vice president now in the chair, the police board. So you tell me anytime when you get government issue with civilians them, when a police involved, you feel say they're going inside because the government vice president, now the chairman, would I come up with that idea then? Would I say the vice president will be the chairman of the police board? That be would idea. Not being and it's by Chroma. It been then at the constitution. Why? Why they not go find another individual outside? We not get nothing. But even if they do that, because then give the president so much power, now in the fire the chief justice, now in the higher chief justice. They just can camouflage we they can make them votes then in a parliament for the speaker. The president they pick up. But all what the president they pick and they can just camouflage to we. One great person take the other two arms of government and hold them all to himself. He not do one because of the constitution. They are that power. So we continue for say not to the constitution, law will go. One day. Until now they see how then we'll learn the book, how they tell we how confusing this constitution is. One day we'll not go count we on side. So we all gonna say this constitution, they play a great role on what thing they happen today in our country. Because when the constitution say it please the president. So it just please the president for do anything, anyhow, anywhere. So when I still they tell we say not to him, Lord they go no more. We'll go reach there. But AAA, you now one of the brother them. You love that nation, it is well. We'll go reach there. Hopefully, you great grand picking them. Witness that. But all them things where you can have for my brother. And they say, like, eat all. But you're not going to be surprised. because we're not ready yet. The government officials, them, the politicians, them, even the individuals, them. Because when we talk, if you put party before the nation, or you put your tribe before the nation, now the end result is what they get. Even international political science people, they don't talk. We get people and how they talk. When you put your tribe and the party before the government, now the end, because now the people and then they pull close. Now the people and then they way they fight. We see young people and whole cutlass yesterday in Akenema. Why? And are the people and then the way they fight for, they talk for every day. Why the same person, one Ghanaian guy be say that, the same person will deprive you education, deprive you livelihood, deprive you survival. Now you the whole gun cutlass for, now you the whole left for kill another person. That same person there will deprive every fabric of your life. Will make you there who say this so. Then you still hold left for fate for that person there. Waiting that tell you about Sierra Leoneans. Or waiting that 10 years. Because we get educated one and two in this country. We still they full close for faith. Kierina then radio show or then online group them. Where people in the faith for them people, yeah. APC person go argue, go tell you anything about what them do. SLPP person go tell say, we need to see, we blind, look what in demand they can do, look the end rules them, look what you don't create. But it is what it is. Thank you very much, my brother. Time to go. Go let on smooth. Good night.
All right, thank you, Omar. London, I had a very long day. Mala just squeezed Per Williams. You never know. Welcome on board, Per Williams. What you get for me?
Well, good evening, everybody. And everybody, some people don't sleep now as well, Mr. The last caller saying they don't sleep now. Anyway, and good night. I can enjoy in submission. I return and say, get high blood pressure for salon. Without it, she say we'll get high blood pressure for salon. Then we'll just take it easy. My own thing is this, I don't know the topics today, but it looks sad for salon people there. Very sad. The position we're in now between we and America, very sad. We're not getting nothing. Salon people are not doing nothing to America. No. Salon people are not doing nothing to America. Now the people that will put before we go for lead win at the country, and they put me in this position, so and it's banned. And they put you in this position. It's a look the people that will put before, so now would look up to. Now we elect say where they look where they make a country respect and dignity. And they put people in position for this travel ban. Yes? And it's here, and the talk are clear. And I didn't name them. One, Young Keller contribute to this band. Two, civil society, they also. Three, religious leaders. Four, the judiciary. Five, BOA in government. Then they put people in there. This travel ban. Mm-hmm. You see the amount, you see the money which America may give you as a head. Over $5 million. America they can't contact power now. Poor people the way they may, I don't know what they may get that money. Just imagine. You see Americans, they're not a vet. But they know how to hold the leaders. Now we poor one of the citizens there, now we suffer. We the suffer. We the Sierra Leoneans. Never mind, I mean, even the still Sierra Leoneans. They are born, they are men, they are go school. Yeah, and I just can't no more. See, man can't no more. For friend with green patches. That's all. You see? Many people and they put people in this situation with this so now. This ban issued now, although not draft from America. Donald Trump, you know the vomit liquor. You don't see IBF the first time. So not to strengthen it. When you don't talk and so. Believe me. God no more to prove it. God no more to surround people. That's the inconvenience around people. The people they will put. Look all what is happening in our country. If put it aside, if the only thing will happen, what have we left for let it happen in our country? Drugs. We continue drugs depot. Remember when they look for, look what Attorney General man they talk. Then they read the document line by line. Can you imagine? You tell me now, say, I'm going to left me, say I'm going to do this document. You tell me go done. You tell me go done. Somebody can't read the document line by line. You tell me go done. He said, then I joke as him. Big jokers. Very big jokers. Damn jokers. Some people not get mad. They don't do anything to American government. But the people that will put. The people that will put there before we go for make a country get respect and dignity. Can you imagine? Now the clean with man, they go clean with what or so. And name they go clean. Remember, they all in the records. If I play the record, then maybe you see where they go clean salon name. Now the name they go clean. Put we a situation there. Put we the Sierra Leone situation like this. Salon people they will not wake up. I still tell us we make us wake up. We continue to so bad. International. We continue so bad. I can always say, and the school man doing he do bad. And the school man he do bad. We don't say he do bad. But one day, a lot of people know this and not say, but we are in the school man in the government, the way we did. One day, we'll not get banned. There's no ban in country so. One day. And the school, I'm not doing it, I'm not doing France. No. He do bad. But this government with this, it do the worst, reckless government. Very reckless government. You do the worst. Drugs, all kinds, you name it. You name it. We're not surprised. They think we'll get the Attorney General will be the sixth. But this one has nothing to say. You don't know what he do. You don't know he eat for a month. We're not surprised. The sixth Attorney General will soon get on this now. Because this not look serious. So you can say, me look serious. Look at the man talk. The man don't have to present himself. Attorney General is. Attorney General gets so. The man don't have to present himself. Look at the man talk. Look at the talk. Oh, why are we going to go down so?
Well, we all lost Mr. Williams. I should take loss and so. I'll just end everything there. None of the phone just hang up. And so go down and today. We go there back. When we there back. Till we meet back again. Triple say tata.